What question did you not expect to ask be asked during sex? Should I bite it? Will you pee on my leg? From a 16-year-old GF I had back in the 90s. I didn't expect that at all. She was super hot and from a well-off family. We were in the shower at the time. So I start to pee on her leg and she immediately drops down and puts her face in it. What would happen if I just peed in you right now? Yes. How do you last so long? No. I think of you. If you got pregnant, would you keep it? Tell me about your career ambitions. The girl got so turned on by me telling her about my proposed career path. She was whack. Must have worked in HR. Using coconut oil one time for the heck of it. And at one point she stared me dead in the eyes. If you came in me, would it be a coconut cream pie? Have you ever thought about my sister? Semicolon. We had just started dating. I'd never even seen her sister. Why are you so sweaty? I was watching Cops. When was your last STD test? A valid question, but when we're at 77% completion of the act. Just strange timing. That's an oddly specific percentage. How much longer are you gonna do it? I was in 5 minutes max. Lost my erection to that question. She later explained. She was trying to climax together. Just phrased the question wrongly. How much longer? Her. Come on my elbow. Me. Up. Her. Do it. Me. Pulls out and ejaculates into my own hand. Then sensually massages it into her elbow. Looks into her eyes to see if this is really doing something for her. It is not. Me. I thought you said come on your elbow. What did you actually say? Her. Never mind. Pass me the toilet paper. I still haven't figured it out. Let me know if anyone figures it out, please. If you're gonna come, let me know. Can you slam my head against the wall? I had a girl that I had met on Tinder hours earlier giving me head in the bushes one time. We both lived with our parents, so it seemed like the logical place. Anyway, she was just trying to get to know me, and mid blowjob she says, "What color are your mum's eyes?" Thrusting vigorously in missionary position. Oh wow. You can do that? Tone of voice made it a question attached to her surprise. What did I do? I still don't know what I did. But it seemed to work. You hit the spot, mate. What do you eat for breakfast? He gets up really early for work and has a really healthy lifestyle and diet, so I was curious how he fit health into his early mornings. He lolled and asked me if that was my SI talk and then said very seductively, "Do you like jam on toast?" He proceeded to text me breakfast pics for weeks. Are you going to tell me what your dad said? My lady friend asked me after I hid a text where my dad said I like her, she is a great girl, in the middle of SX. Edit. I was not looking at my phone during SX. You know that doesn't do anything, right? One time I was screwing around with my at the time boyfriend. He wanted me to be rough and he wanted to pretend to resist. He were going for about a minute or two and he had told me to fight back if he struggled. So I slapped him. I spent the next 10 minutes cuddling him and making sure he was okay, while he just chuckled to himself about how much of a softie I was. How many members are in the Spice Girls game show network? 5. Me. WTF. Can I punch you in the dick? Like. WTF. Punching me in the dick? If you're into that, at least do an open face slap. Not a F-king knuckle sandwich to the balls. Put the kettle on. Granted I had misheard her, but still wasn't expecting it. Can you please jump out the window and hide for a little? My brother likes to come over randomly and vent about his current divorce and I need to be there for him. And if you're wondering, I got tired of waiting. Came in the bushes and left. Edit. This was during the summer so I didn't mind. Initially. It was a one-story window but did have a little bit of a drop, so I was airborne while naked. No. The brother did not come in the room while we were naked. I jumped out. She got dressed and let him in to talk. I stood there, naked and barefoot with a semi for 5 minutes before I told myself, this is gonna take a long time. FCK it. I'm gonna still get mine. Petty factaker, I'll show you. Got dressed and left. Luckily my keys were in my shorts. Thank you for the Reddit gold. You think that story's messed up? Wait until you hear the time I won a contest to have dinner with a Playboy model in Canada and my car died on the way back the night before Christmas. Why is your dick so tan? I had a boyfriend who asked if I was gonna come soon because he wanted to go watch porn stars, which he had recorded. RIP Chumley. Semicolon. Edit. Oh god. I'm sorry everybody. Chumley is not dead. It turns out. One time when I was sucking on a woman's nipples, she made a joke about me being like a baby and how she could control me like a puppy with sex appeal. This planted the seeds of my GFD fetish. I had a girl I used to hook up with. We're doing the old 69 for a few minutes when she sits up and yells, "You left your FCKing socks on? Are you retarded?" My roommates give me shit about that to this day. Our walls were paper thin. And my feet get cold. I am not retro dead. How is it? After everything. Grab her boobs. How is it? Pull her hair. How is it? Her on top. How is it? Me on top. How is it? Apostrophe. Eventually I gave up and said, is my dick hard? Then you're fine. Stop stressing. Course then I learned her ex was an abusive CNT who'd basically broken the poor thing and felt bad, but at the time it was really off-putting. Is this the best sex you ever had? That is such a setup. That the only acceptable answer would be a stone-faced no. But I know you're trying. Full stop. I had just informed a new hookup that I was definitely down for rough sex and I had a pretty considerable upper limit, i.e. was down for most things. And we seemed to both be on the pretty same level. Then towards the end he kept asking me if anyone had ever taken it too far while being rough. It's not really that weird, but I didn't know how to respond. Because nobody's really ever taken it too far. To be fair, my upper limit is something like don't call me ugly and we're good. He asked a few times though, so I was worried there was something he wanted to do that we weren't doing and I felt insecure. Another time, same guy, we were trying an L and I asked if he had lube and he said no, but I can use spit. And my first thought was he hasn't done an L before, and it turns out he hadn't done an L before. I was going down on my partner for the first time. It's something I pride myself on for being good at. The thing is, this time I was getting nowhere. I mean, I was just ricocheting of this woman. No signs of enjoyment at all. After 5 minutes she asked, "Are you getting tired?" It is the single most demoralizing thing I have ever heard someone say in bed. Wife must have had craft things on her mind, because here's what I got. Do we have any Gorilla Glue? Whatever wood project she was planning completely ruined the one I had going on that moment. I wasn't expecting so much response to this lol. My wife and I joke about it now. No, she wasn't talking about Gorilla Glue the weed. And if I wasn't so thrown off from being asked that randomly, I would have replied with, "I got your glue right here," with a Walter White crotch grab Bogdan style. First time having sex with a girl after a normal date. Can you choke me? I can only come when I'm near the point of asphyxiation. I think I met your boss today. Is he the older Indian guy? Or will you puke on my dick? Or when did you take out your lip piercing? Or why don't you talk shitty to me during sex the way you do when we're hanging out? Or how long have you been blonde? I loved hooking up with that clown. True story. Years ago I was giving a BJ and the guy felt my boob and asked me if I've checked myself for breast cancer cause he felt a lump. Edit. I do not have breast cancer. I got it checked. He worked at a hospital at the time and was being concerned. And yes, I let him finish because I'm a good friend. Friend in med school found a lump on her then boyfriend's testicle while going down on him. She got him in to see someone the next day and he was diagnosed with testicular cancer pretty quickly. They are not together anymore but on good terms. And it's still funny when she brings it up on the rare occasion we see each other. I'm an Australian who was in America. She asked me to just talk normally. Doesn't seem that strange but I was suddenly so lost for words. Can I be crass for a moment? Yeah. Sure. Your cock feels so good in me. I mean we were literally F-king at the time and she had to ask if it was okay to say such things. Not a question. Go to blast. Are you in? I can't tell. Do you have a smoke? During. After you're done. Can we go over to my mom's house? Well, I am done. But the answer is no. Laying in a bloke's bed and he whispered in my ear. Play with my ding dong and followed it by asking for. Cuddle waddles nope. Not at all attractive. Oh you touched his tra-la-la. Was hooking up with this dude who was really into dirty talking a lot during sex. He was pretty good at thinking of stuff to say but sometimes things would come out weird. We met up pretty often but were very explicitly casual. One day. Mid-thrust. He blurted out oh. FCK. I love you. I guess it wasn't a question but it sure caught me off guard. The look of fear and panic in his eyes was hilarious and we had to stop because I was laughing so hard. It was supposed to be I love F-king you or something. He didn't have feelings. It just slipped out and I never let him live it down. It just slipped out. Do you like when I massage your cheese pot? After my laughing subsided enough to speak. I learned that he had actually said G-spot. And I misheard. Did you just throw up? Who is Franz Ferdinand? She asked me if I could FCK her forever. I changed my pace from sprinting to cross country. I wanna make a strawberry milkshake in you during period sex. Don't know if I should laugh or vomit. I asked a girl out while we were having sex the first time. She just said okay. She probably didn't expect that. 10 years later. We are married. Own a home together. And are expecting our first child. She asked are you gay? When my dick went soft from being too nervous. Do you insert the penis and balls at the same time? Can you come on my belly so the baby doesn't get cum in his face? My 16-year ex-GF who was faking a pregnancy to meet again. To this day I don't know if she was into cum on her body. Tried to give her story some authenticity. Or didn't want me to come inside her. Followed up by. What are you doing? When I gave myself a few faps while coming on her belly. Cause my dick needs penetration during orgasm. Got. She was dumb. And I was too. This was the last time we met. Extra info. She even brought a fake ultrasound picture she printed out on normal paper to convince me. But deep inside I had my doubts. How big is my dick compared to my brother's? I had a one night stand with an ex's younger brother. They were about the same size. It was more her response to my question. She's using her hands. And she's doing a fine job of it. In the heat of the moment I ask. All SI. Damn babe. How are you so good at that? Without stopping what she's doing and with zero hesitation. She looks me deep in my eyes and says. My ancestors made bread. Haven't laughed that hard in a while. Pun intended. Why do you still have your clothes on? Okay. So it was near the start. But still. Those are some damn nice words to hear come out of somebody's mouth. Isn't it better without a condom? Wait what? Turns out she pulled it off when she was getting on top of me. I was pretty pissed. I immediately got dressed and left. Edit. Sounds like some people have never had sex while inebriated. Sir. What are you doing in that grave? Since this is Reddit. The appropriate answer is your mom. I said, wait, shhh, do you hear that? Someone's coming. She panicked and said, who? Blew my load on her and said, me. How TF do I get this bra off? I was the guy. Do you want to go KFC after this? The same guy used to text as well while we were doing it. High flying bank executive, so his excuse was he was busy with work. I was 16. With my ex. She sat on my face riding like she's trying to win the Grand National. I'm loving it. She's loving it. Good time. Turns out my mum graduated ACAM's ninja training because I didn't hear her unlock the door. Or open a further 4 doors to get to my room. Could be I had a pair of thighs as earmuffs, but anyhow. She swings the door open. Drops the sandwich she made me. BLT. I know I nearly cried from that alone. And proceeded to say, why don't you have a lock on your door? And I threw the girl off me. She then proceeded to queef. But it was so f***ing loud. It was like being sat in front of a jet engine. My mum almost fainted. Ex went home crying. I had a wank and went to bed. 1/11 would never do it again. Are you sure you haven't done this before? That was unexpected. My boss answered this question unprovoked. My wife started talking about how dirty the ceiling fan was. Edit. Changes this to my because I did it wrong. Took only hours to notice. We could just wrap it in saran wrap, don't you think? Where do you keep it? Apostrophe. The actual FCK? My ex and I were f***ing it up. S-ing it down and I was hitting it from the back. I had left my t-shirt on because I was pretty chilly. To give you context and to also let you know that I have had sex. Anyway, we finish and she turns and asks what the small brown stain on my shirt is. It's obviously poo. It's obviously hers. I take a pretend sniff and say nah, it's just chocolate, and then left it at that. Had a girl shitty a small nugget when she came as I went down on her. I took it and walked it to the bathroom real quick. Flushed and washed my hands, for far too short a time given what I just handled, and back to bed. She asked if it was what she thinks. And I said, yeah, no worries. It's awesome you came so hard. She was embarrassed, but I'm glad my teenage self didn't make a big deal about it. Technically I wasn't the one having sex, but there was one time my roommate and his girlfriend were going at it and I could hear them through the wall. All of a sudden he yelled Kamehameha. I'm assuming while finishing. I couldn't help but bust up laughing. Why are you sweating so much? Gee. I'm fat and out of shape doing one of the most intense activities one can do. I have no clue. I just got checked for STDs. I'm fine. This was when we were kissing and leading up, already undressing. I thought she was trying to make a joke, but she wasn't. Man, honestly. That would take a lot of weight off my shoulders. Assuming she was honest. So my husband and I'm female by the way, were getting hot and heavy in foreplay, and I whispered in his ear. Are you ready for me to be inside of you? He pulled away so f***ing fast. And had this look of horror on his face. I was so damn embarrassed. I don't even know why I would say that. We still laugh about it. And that was 6 years ago. I'm very late, but whatever. Reverse. I asked it. Girlfriend was a huge fan of the Big Hero 6 movie, so just after we finish I whispered, are you satisfied with your care? Do you love me? Would you kindly? A man chooses. A slave obeys. My wife. Car, can we get pizza after this? Me. It was my first time. I was 19 and she was 27. She lit a cigarette and I said I'm not allowed to smoke inside. She took a drag and asked, do you want a rim job or not? Papa. Why are you humping the toaster? Can I take off the fursuit yet? No. Bark harder. Can you close the goddamn window? I'm on. How are you so big? I'm just average length, but I guess thicker than normal. Take the compliment. what the name of the main character from Smart Guy was. I have no idea why she was thinking about that. Or why that was the time to ask. First time sleeping with the dude, and after he put it in and started thrusting asked me, is this the biggest you've ever had? In a failed SI voice. Me and my inability to lie or think before I speak said no, but that's fine. My current so asked me if I was really enjoying sex with wonder in his voice. Yes, I'm far more experienced with a much longer list of partners, but all of his previous partners, 4 including a wife, had left him convinced that women encourage a man to think they like sex until he's committed and then tolerate it after that with disencouragement and the impression that it's a chore. Oh. And anytime they encourage him it's in exchange for something. My lovely, caring, solely sharing and considerate so is finally learning that I rarely say no because I like sex. Especially with him. And that if I do say no it's because of time or timing. That even if I don't come, I can take a long time, that his pleasure pleases me and that loving pleasure is satisfying too. I am angry with those women, but I also feel sorry for them. They are missing out on a lifetime of joy and sharing and closeness. And they really screwed with my lovely man's head.